A single lemon tree, given nothing more than sunlight, water, and reasonably fertile soil, will produce between 200 and 400 lemons per year for the next 50 years. Not 50 harvests of one crop, 50 consecutive years of fruit from a single plant you can grow in a container on a balcony. That number demands to be examined. It means that one tree planted today, in an ordinary garden or a modest pot on a terrace in Multon, could yield between 10,000 and 20,000 lemons across its lifetime. And across that same lifetime, it will produce volatile antimicrobial compounds, protect its surrounding soil from erosion, feed pollinators, and provide one of the most chemically complex and medicinally studied fruits on Earth. The lemon tree Citrus limon belongs to the family Rutaceae, the rue family, a botanical lineage that includes nearly 1,600 species distributed across tropical and subtropical regions of the world. The lemon itself, however, is not entirely what it appears. Genetic studies published by the journal Nature Plants in 2018 confirmed that Citrus limon is not a wild species. It is a hybrid, a natural cross between the bitter orange Citrus aurantium and the citron Citrus medica that first emerged in the northeastern foothills of the Himalayas, in a region spanning modern-day northeastern India and southwestern China, possibly 3,000 years ago. From those foothills, the lemon moved west. Arab traders carried it into the Middle East and North Africa by the 10th century. The Crusaders carried it into Europe by the 12th century. Spanish colonizers brought it to the Americas by the late 15th century. In less than 500 years after its European introduction, the lemon had colonized every subtropical and Mediterranean climate on the planet. Physically, the lemon tree is a compact, evergreen tree growing between 3 and 6 meters in height in open ground, though container-grown specimens are routinely maintained at 1.5 to 2.5 meters without loss of productivity. Its branches carry sharp, functional thorns, a defense mechanism inherited from its citron parent. The leaves are elliptical, glossy, and a deep, saturated green, with slightly winged petioles that distinguish the genus Citrus from most other fruit trees at a glance. The flowers, white on the outer petals, pale purple on the inner surface, are among the most intensely fragrant of any common cultivated plant, releasing linalool, limonene, and beta-pinene in a volatile compound profile that is detectable by the human nose from several meters away. The fruit itself is a Hesperidium, a botanical classification unique to the citrus family consisting of a rind rich in essential oil glands, a white pith layer called the albedo, and segmented internal flesh containing juice vesicles. The average lemon contains between 25 and 40 milliliters of juice, 5 to 8% of which is citric acid by volume 1, of the highest acid concentrations found in any edible fruit. What makes the lemon tree extraordinary is not any single property. It is the density of utility compressed into a single organism. The rind, the juice, the seed, the leaf, the flower, the essential oil, the wood, every component of this tree has documented human applications. Across 20 distinct, verified uses, this tree represents something almost unparalleled in the plant kingdom. And most of those 20 uses, the ones that matter most, are almost never discussed. The lemon tree is a subtropical organism. It thrives in USDA hardiness zones 9 through 11, which correspond broadly to regions with annual minimum temperatures above -3 degrees Celsius, 26 degrees Fahrenheit. It requires full sun, a minimum of 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight daily, and performs best in well-drained, loamy or sandy loam soils with a pH between 5.5 and 6.5. It is drought-tolerant once established, but productivity peaks in irrigated conditions where soil moisture is maintained without waterlogging. Today, the world's top producers of lemon and lime combined are India, Mexico, China, Argentina, Brazil, and Turkey, with Spain and South Africa as major exporters to European markets. India alone produces approximately 3.5 million metric tons annually. In Pakistan, lemon and kinao cultivation spans the Punjab and Sindh regions, with significant home cultivation across the country, particularly in areas where temperatures rarely drop below 5 degrees Celsius. The growth timeline of a lemon tree follows a precise, documented arc. A seed-grown tree will take 4 to 6 years to produce its first fruit, a significant investment. For this reason, the commercial and home garden standard is grafted stock. A grafted tree where a productive variety such as Eureka, Lisbon, or Maya is joined to a disease-resistant rootstock will begin producing fruit within 1 to 3 years of planting. In the first 6 months after transplanting a grafted sapling into the ground, the tree establishes its root structure. During this period, visible growth above ground may appear modest, perhaps 20 to 40 centimeters of new shoot growth. But beneath the surface, lateral roots extend rapidly, often reaching 1.5 meters in radius in sandy soils within a single season. This root architecture is what funds the tree's extraordinary long-term productivity. By month 6 to 18, the tree enters its first productive flush. Lemon trees are unusual among fruit trees in that they do not follow a single annual fruiting cycle. Under optimal conditions, a mature lemon tree will cycle through up to 4 flowering and fruiting periods per year, a capacity called everbearing. Each flush begins with flower buds visible approximately 4 to 6 weeks before bloom, progresses through the intensely fragrant open flower stage lasting 5 to 10 days, and then enters fruit set, where the majority of flowers drop and a smaller percentage of fertilized ovaries begin developing into fruit. The fruit development period from flower to harvest averages 6 to 9 months depending on variety and climate. This means that at any given moment, a mature lemon tree may simultaneously carry flowers, immature green fruit, and ripe yellow fruit, a visual density of productivity that few other species match. Irrigation requirements for homegrown trees are relatively modest. Established trees in the Punjab climate require deep watering once every 7 to 10 days during hot months, reducing to once every 14 to 21 days in cooler periods. Container-grown trees require more frequent watering every 3 to 5 days during summer, but respond well to a simple moisture check protocol. Insert a finger 5 centimeters into the soil. If dry at that depth, water thoroughly until drainage appears. Container cultivation deserves particular emphasis. Maya lemon, a hybrid variety slightly sweeter and more cold-tolerant than standard citrus lemon, has been documented producing 50 to 80 fruit per year in 4 0-liter containers maintained on rooftop terraces in cities from Karachi to Manchester. This is not hypothetical. It is a cultivated, documented reality. What this tree does with those lemons, what the science shows is happening inside each one of those fruits at a chemical and biological level, is where the story becomes genuinely extraordinary. A single 100-gram serving of lemon juice contains 53 milligrams of vitamin C, approximately 59% of the adult recommended daily intake. That number is well known. What is not widely known is the accompanying chemical infrastructure that makes lemon juice one of the most studied functional foods in clinical nutrition. Lemons contain over 200 identified bioactive compounds. Among the most studied are the flavonoids, specifically hesperidin, eryocitrin, and diosmin, which have documented anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and vasoprotective properties in peer-reviewed clinical trials. A 2019 study published in the European Journal of Nutrition found that daily lemon polyphenol intake was associated with a statistically significant reduction in systolic blood pressure over an 8-week period in hypertensive subjects. This plant produces more antioxidant flavonoids per gram of peel than most pharmaceutical-grade flavonoid supplements, and the peel is the part most people discard. The citric acid content, that 5 to 8% acidic concentration, has a documented metabolic role that contradicts most people's intuition about how acids behave in the body. Despite its external acidity, lemon juice produces an alkalizing effect in the body after metabolism, increasing urinary pH. This has direct clinical relevance. A 2014 meta-analysis in the Urological Research Journal reviewed 13 studies and found that increased citric acid intake was associated with reduced urinary calcium oxalate supersaturation, the primary chemical, precursor to the most common type of kidney stones. The essential oil of the lemon, cold-pressed from the rind, is a commercially significant product with documented antimicrobial properties. Limonene, which comprises 55 to 70% of lemon essential oil by volume, has been shown in laboratory studies to inhibit the growth of Staphylococcus aureus, E. coli, and Candida albicans. The oil is used in food preservation, pharmaceutical formulation, and industrial cleaning products where non-toxic antimicrobial action is required. The leaf litter and rind waste from lemon processing, an enormous volume, globally given annual production, exceeding 17 million metric tons, is increasingly used as a feedstock for biogas production, with trials in Pakistan and India demonstrating that lemon waste fermentation produces methane yields competitive with food waste generally. 20 distinct, verified uses, from hypertension management to kidney stone prevention, from bee forage to biogas, from antimicrobial cleaning to livestock nutrition, and not one of them requires anything other than what this tree naturally produces. That moment represents a form of food sovereignty that is genuinely rare in modern life. It connects the person standing in that courtyard to every generation before them that grew this tree for the same reasons: medicine, food preservation, cleaning, healing, flavoring, fragrance, and the quiet confidence that comes from being partially, meaningfully independent of systems outside your control. Seed preservation of lemon is straightforward but requires specificity. Commercially available lemon seeds are viable but produce variable results because citrus limon exhibits polyembryony. Most citrus seeds contain multiple embryos, the majority of which are nucellar clones of the mother plant rather than sexually produced seedlings. This means seed-grown lemons are often true to type despite not being grafted. Fresh seeds extracted from ripe fruit and planted immediately at 1 centimeter depth in moist, well-draining medium will germinate in 14 to 21 days at temperatures between 21 and 29 degrees Celsius. For confirmed variety preservation, however, grafting from a productive parent tree using a 15 to 20 centimeter hardwood cutting and standard tea budding technique remains the most reliable method. The economic reality of the lemon tree deserves direct attention. In Pakistan's retail market, a kilogram of lemon sells for between 150 and 300 rupees depending on season, with significant price spikes during summer months. A single mature lemon tree producing 300 fruits per year, at an average weight of 100 to 120 grams per fruit, yields approximately 35 to 40 kilograms of fruit annually. At 200 rupees per kilogram, that is 7,000 to 8,000 rupees worth of fruit per year, from a single tree, not counting the value of the rind for essential oil extraction, the peel for drying and culinary use, or the leaves, which sell fresh in specialty markets for use in South Asian cooking. Scaled across 5 to 10 trees easily achievable on a half-canal home plot, the annual production value reaches 35,000 to 80,000 rupees, not as a commercial orchard, as a home garden. And lemon essential oil, cold-pressed, unadulterated, from homegrown fruit currently sells in Pakistan's growing natural products market at between 800 and 2,500 rupees per 30 milliliters, depending on purity and source. 1 kilogram of lemon rind yields approximately 3 to 5 milliliters of cold-pressed oil. The arithmetic is left to the viewer. For 5,000 years, across every civilization that encountered this tree, human beings have understood something that modern agricultural economics has temporarily obscured. The most valuable plants are not the most exotic ones. They are the ones that give the most to the person who grows them, season after season, year after year, without asking much in return. Most people will watch this video and move on. They will return to buying lemons in plastic bags, discarding the peel, never growing a single tree. The ones who don't, the ones who plant one tree this season will still be harvesting from it in 2075. That is not a promise. That is a botanical fact.